Welcome back. It's day 3. Today we're going to talk about your publications, and these are the places that you want to be published. Do you have a list of the places that you want to see your work one day? Do you have a list of editors you want to work with? Do you know when they're accepting work or how they accept work? What I've found is that if you don't take it seriously in organizing this information and even looking into it, you really know that you're not taking the steps to make that a reality in your future. And there's something a little thrilling about looking up the submission guidelines to a place you know you really want to be published. So let's look at the kinds of things you might track for publications. So with this, you're going to need a publication title. So let's say I'm going to do a farm magazine. And again, you can do this in an Excel spreadsheet with columns. You want to write the title, at the very least, of course, and then who you would contact for submissions. The way you find this is through what's called their masthead, and that's a list of people who work on the magazine. Usually in a printed magazine, it's in the front, and online you can often find it by Googling, and also here LinkedIn or social media are also your friend. You'll also see in the email you received today a list of more than 50 submission guidelines that will really help you with this. You might want to mention the section, and then I like to say what type it is because I write for different kinds of publications. So consumer magazine, literary magazine, academic journal, blog, newspaper, trade magazine, or just a website. And any notes on it, right? Like why is it a good fit for your work? Did someone recommend it to you? What is the tone? Any, is it pop culture? Is it literary? Things like that. And especially for consumer magazines, you want to say what their readership is. I usually recommend that people look up what's called a media kit, and this is for advertisers, and it tells the advertisers, here's who reads our publication, and it's got great information in it for people who want to write for that publication. And then what I like to do is sort them by appeal. So I'm going to be a little more excited to be in the New York Times than I am in the student newspaper at my local college. So here I select low, medium, high for the appeal level. Some publications have reading periods. For example, a lot of literary magazines have reading periods that start with the school year and then end at the end of the spring semester because they are staffed by students. So you want to mark that here. And then, is this publication a good fit right now? Do they accept simultaneous submissions? Yes or no? That means you are sending a piece to them to consider, and you're also sending it to someone else. And if you are sending it to 2 places, that's considered a simultaneous submission. And some people are not cool with it. If you do that, you want to make sure that you withdraw it or somehow let them know that you are not going to publish it with them as soon as you can. Multiple submissions means submissions to the same publication. And then do they accept things that are previously published? Most places are going to be no. We also have some advanced options here, and you can, if you're building your own spreadsheet, you can do whatever you want. What genres do they accept? Is there a word limit? How do they accept their work? Is it via email or submittable? Is there a fee to submit? And then what about their pay? Do they pay for work? Are they looking for any particular themes? And then this is the most important thing, their submission requirements. Let's look at how some publications do submission requirements. So let's check one out. Let's do how to submit a modern love essay. So as you'll see, they usually give you a big paragraph, right? You're like, okay, what's important in here? And what I want to do is I will say, okay, send submissions to this, right? Okay, so I'm going to copy this. And then I'm going to go over here. There we go. Please put the subject of your essay or a possible title in the email subject line. Because I like to make this into a checklist, I want to put each thing on its own line so I can go down and check one at a time. Limit your essay. So here is a word limit, and I can put that up here. Attach your essay as a Microsoft Word document. and paste it in the email. So again, because I want to make sure that I do this right, and if I have both these, the temptation might be as soon as I attach that document to check this off. So this is actually 2 steps, right? So I'm going to do each of those individually. Okay, this I feel like is a little extraneous. I know essays must be true, don't use synonyms, blah, blah, blah. Previously unpublished, so that means that I'm going to make sure I mark that up here. No, I do not accept previously published work. Okay, so their response time is 3 to 4 months. There is no need to follow up. Love it. So, stated time to review in days, 120. And I'm just going to put this, because they have 2 reading periods, I'm just going to put that in the requirements because that's complicated. Okay. So I'm going to copy this because that's good stuff to remember every time I send something in, and you can expand this here to check it out. And it also tells me who to send it into. Okay, Maya Lee. So there's something just about having these publications organized that helps you really focus in on a list when you have pieces ready of where you want to send them. You can make this in your own spreadsheet, or this is how the Writer's Mission Control Center helps you, and in either you could filter, and it's just really helpful for having focus. So that's what you need to know about publications. And once you have these organized, you have a more focused list where you can really dream big and see what you need to do to get there. I'll see you tomorrow.